Negropean. You have people like Negropean. So Negropean. Yep, Negropean.
What kind of grown-ass black man call themselves a Negropean?
So if people came over there and want to show what they're doing and make that public, but they, like you were saying, they don't want to do that no more because they don't want Negropean them to be featured on Negropean.
Hello and welcome to another day in paradise, and welcome to another edition of the Unapologetic Negropean. In today's video, guys, you know how much I hate reaction videos. I don't make them very often, do I? But we are going to make a reaction video today, and we are going to be reacting towards the video that was made by Mr. Bomani and Kwesi himself. Yes, the dynamic duo have finally gotten together. I don't see anything good coming from it, but that's just my opinion. So I listened to this 18-minute video that was made by Bomani at his house, somewhere in Atlanta, I'm guessing. They have both gone back to the mecca of black American criminality. And you can tell that these two are cooking up a storm. So we're going to go through this video. We're going to try and analyze this video. We're going to try and look at the body language. We're going to listen to a little bit of what they say. We're going to try and debunk some of what they say. We're going to see if actually some of what Kwesi specifically is saying is the truth. First, I'm going to ask you, like always, to please like, subscribe, share, click the bell notification, and please consider supporting the channel on our Patreon, link in the description. I'm also going to invite you to please subscribe to the Oversight channel, the channel that is there to help you to invest on the African continent both safely and securely. Link also in the description. And we're going to get into this right now.
But we mentioned some things about, the relationship between Juliet and Negropean. It later came out that they had a relationship and that they knew each other on a first name basis. You know what I mean? She was giving him information about R. Kathy, because she had a problem with R. Kathy.
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. Yes, I did get some of that information that I used on my channel a couple of years ago from Juliet. I spoke to her and she gave me some of the information. But when she was giving me this information, I knew that she was manipulating me. And I could see it. So I know that some of the information she was giving me was the truth. And I know that some of it I had to ignore. So it was difficult to sift through the information and to find out whether what she was saying was the truth or whether she was just making up complete, utter lies.
I was with Juliet and I was working with Juliet every day when she first started building her house out there. When I met them, like I said, when I walked in there, her chair broke. And I'm spiritual, so I saw a sign in that.
Wow, the chair broke. That is kind of wild. I mean, I don't think that he's lying about this as well. I think this genuinely happened and he saw that as a bad omen. Perhaps he should have acted sooner and took flight, but no, Kwesi couldn't leave at that time because he was in no situation, no position to leave the Blacksit household. He knew that he was in a position that he could use Blacksit, the organization, and her husband as a springboard, as a catalyst to propel himself forward, to build something for himself in the Gambia.
We worked together and we started selling land. And early on in the land, one of my wives actually worked for the company and we were selling land there. And early on I saw that there was going to be problems with the land. And, I wanted to do everyone going over there buying land in a haphazard way and in a impulse buying. They just want to buy into the idea. It leads to a lot of issues.
Basically, what he's saying is that there were discrepancies in the paperwork and in the way that Blacksit and the organization was dealing land. He doesn't go as far as to say that what they were doing was illegal, but he does say that there were some dubious practices within the organization.
Negropean went to make videos about it. I mean, it's all public. I never went out there and made a bunch of videos about the land deals that she was doing and the legitimacy of them and the mismanagement, but they blame all the stuff that they blame me for. They're pretty much responsible and accountable. It's been established that they've been having all of these misdealings, and he brought that out. But initially, all of that attack was to create a smoke screen for, I mean, it's just out of pure hate. You understand what I'm saying? Pure hate.
I think that Kwesi Boyd and Blacksit were working with one another for one reason or another, and I don't want to blame either one of them at this moment because I don't have the information and I wasn't in the household myself, but for one reason or another, this relationship fell apart. And I think that during the grey period, just before they both knew this relationship was not feasible, I think Kwesi Boyd did the unthinkable. I think he went in, took whatever he needed. He took all the information, the database, the people that give Blacksit money. He went in and took all that information and started building his own database. I think that's where Kwesi Boyd got the information from to start his own database. So Blacksit told me this, and I think it's totally the truth. I think he stole the information that he used to build his own database, and I think he stole it from the Blacksit organization.
And then you have people like Negropean, and as I shared before, I don't even like to talk to him because he was just he's just a tool. He was a stool. He was building his channel up, and
he just
he's not somebody that cares.
It's kind of like what we call a bottom feeder, a low life. That's what the unapologetic Negropean represent. Someone that just like an opportunist, like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I can't, like, I have no connection to where I can do anything in Africa, and maybe I can just get into a situation where
his name is Negropean.
What kind of grown ass black man call himself a Negropean?
So if you look at this, check this out. If you look at this, you have that don't represent the movement at all.
Right.
All of this commercial YouTuber and these people, like we were speaking about R. Kathy and just the controversy around art, and art, like I said, she had her problems like any other people, and people need handlers. You can't be by yourself making decisions like with Blacksit and Juliet. Juliet, it's her and her husband. He don't have much say in anything. It's just Juliet running the show, and he's there. She makes that very known on video.
So Juliet is Blacksit.
I kind of feel sorry for Adrian in this matter. I really do, because I believe that he is going to be receiving a lot of the fallout, being the man of the household, the man. He doesn't take all the decisions himself. He doesn't make those decisions because he's in a partnership with his wife, of course. But I truly do believe that Kwesi is actually speaking correctly here. I think that Blacksit wears the trousers in that household. I think that she tells Adrian what to do next, where to go. I believe that she is the one who ultimately makes those difficult decisions to do things that are perhaps a little bit more, how do you say, illegal. I think she's the one that wants to bend the rules.
And Adrian, I only watched a few, your portion of those videos that you guys made with the two ladies that started all the drama, and supporting those ladies when I gave months and months and months of free labor, tens of thousands of dollars in intellectual properties, building the site, the databases, everything, and assisting y'all, G, you understand all the work he did, my team, Umi, Bugs, Muhammad, we all was there. I brought all those people there, and we helped y'all. For Juliet, I'm not even addressing Adrian. It's Juliet. They try to drag me through the mud. The first girl that I met in Gambia, I ended up marrying her, and we were married for a couple years before we got a divorce. You understand? But I wasn't over there on sex tourism, like all the stuff that came out on those girls.
I think it's crazy that he talks about the irony of the illicit types of activities that the vast majority of those people, not the majority, I shouldn't be saying that, the minority of those people who are moving back to the Gambia are taking part in, taking advantage of the fact that they can get a young, handsome boyfriend. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, as long as that boyfriend also sees you on a level plane, that he doesn't feel like he needs to be with you so he can get himself that golden American passport. And men who have gone over to the Gambia to take advantage of young women over there who they can control with very little.
Everybody over there trying to build a house and getting YouTube channel and clout chasing, you know, trying to make some money and don't understand business, you know, coming from backgrounds where they're 9-to-5 workers, you know what I mean? People who are low lives and don't have lives.
I don't think anybody was clout chasing. Guys, I think those people that went to the Gambia, who went to start their own businesses, that went to build their own houses, to build their own lives, those diasporans who moved back, they didn't care about Kwesi Boyd. Guys, listen, they didn't care about getting clout from Kwesi Boyd, okay? There is nothing that they could have gotten from Kwesi Boyd, not even exposure, really, because he doesn't have that many subscribers on his YouTube channel, so you couldn't even get exposure for their own YouTube channel. So I think that Kwesi is probably scraping the bottom of the barrel here.
And none of us perfect, you know, I mean, we have our challenges. I mean, people who are low lives and don't have lives, you know, people that come from backgrounds of alcohol and drug abuse, like we all have issues of that, you know, and they come in, you know, at the time making these ridiculous and horrible claims about somebody over there that got families.
I find it rather strange that he talks about people coming over to Africa who have problems with substance abuse and with alcohol and everything else, because he would pretty much fall in line with those characteristics. And I'm not going to put him down for that. I think that anybody who's fighting those types of demons, they can get that help in Africa. And while I don't think it's Africa's responsibility, Africa can turn your life around.
They tried to accuse me of breaking into her house, some dumb ridiculous. It turned out to be the chick boyfriend that she was dating. Then she tried to take him. They tried to blame everything on me. You know, one of Juliet people that was part of her coalition of African descendants, I'm not going to share his name, but he came up to me and said, Juliet tried to blame everything on you, and she used all of her resources and everything, all her power and energy to get me out the market because she wanted to be the #1 brand.
We're looking to connect with the best of our people across the globe.
And that's what we're doing. We want to connect with the best of our people.
That's it.
You know, it's a sad reality, and it's a global reality. It's a global reality of the poverty mindset. But that don't mean you can't be successful.
Guys, for context, you need to know the reasons why these two are making these videos now. If you're the kind of person who does not have any inclination to do business with either of these two, because you would never do business with these two, you know that they are shady characters, you wouldn't give them money even if they were the last people on earth, don't worry about it. These two people are not making this video for you. These two people are making these videos in order to convince those people who are still sitting on the fence right now to do business, to continue doing business with them. Why are they making it now? They want to get back there, but for one reason or another, they can't. Kwesi had the Gambia in his hands, and this guy could have ruled that country. He had the ability to do it. He messed up. And Bomani was not the right person to lead people. He is the right person if you want somebody there who's going to use you, who's going to sap everything out of you like a vampire, all the money, all the respect, all the honor, all the dignity. Once he has all that, then he will treat you with complete disrespect. That is the kind of person who Bomani is. He will never change. He will always be that way.
You know, Adrian did recommend, hey, you know, like I said, Adrian, he's a brother like we've all been in marriages. You understand what I'm saying? And we have to deal with those situations. Trust me, they did everything they could try to do to me. They brought me to the police, Juliet and Adrian. You know, shame on you. Shame on you.
Yeah,
Juliet,
like some judge.
You know, like she was over in the UK, and you know, saying her son is being bullied, and that these kids were using fear and intimidation, you know, against him, and she employs the same tactics on the repatriation movement.
I think that Kwesi Boyd is actually making a point here. I think that whilst he has done wrong and he has done a lot of bad things, I think that a lot of people, other people that were working along with him, have piled on all the things, all the problems that they had and put them onto Kwesi Boyd. I think that, you know, he was the perfect scapegoat because he had that exposure. So people were attacking him through Art Cathy. Art Cathy was never answering back. So he was the perfect scapegoat for many of them. No doubt in my mind that Kwesi could have dominated the Gambia. And that's scary, really, because, I don't know, I think that when you have a person who is articulate and intelligent and is business savvy, who has everything going for him, but only has a few demons that totally obliterates everything else, I think that shows and should be a lesson to all of us that we need to somehow take control of those demons, get rid of them, and you will find out that your life will be so much easier. Kwesi Boyd is a perfect example of that.
The two main people that was involved with the going on Negropean, you know, and going on Go Black to Africa, those two ladies, and I don't even like to mention their name. One of them,
yeah, we don't gotta mention names.
You know, like I said, they're really nobodies. Immediately after they went, one of their daughter got up there and said they got into a conflict because they were trying to ship drugs into the country.
Okay, we know this happened. We know Shantae White tried to get Phoenix Rain's daughter to send illicit substances through the mail into the Gambia. It is completely wrong, but it was for personal use. I think it's okay. Okay, this is not something Shantae White should be bashed for because she wasn't planning on selling it. I don't think. I hope not. It is a sad day. You know, Bomani will never return to Ghana. He literally dug his own grave when he started doing illegal things. He started to treat these people like they were stupid. What did he do? He started forging paperwork. He started to do things like speak to his clients and his customers like they were dog mess. And eventually, that was all going to come back onto him because the people that he was attacking weren't the types of people that you should be messing with in the first place. And they clearly have made an impact on Bomani's life, because if it wasn't for that lady coming forward and telling people about her story, about that woman having the bravery to come forward and tell people about what Bomani had done to her, then it is more than likely that Bomani, he wouldn't be in the United States right now. He would be right now in Ghana, and he would be doing the same thing to other people. So I've got nothing but respect for those people who came forward. So what is next for these two? I think it's likely that they are going to go into partnership with each other and do something together. Do I think that's a good idea? Of course not. It's not good for us diasporans because we know that they are both shady individuals. Bomani is a person who will lie with every breath that he can muster. You guys like it when I say that, don't you? Yeah, so he is one of those types of people who will say whatever needs to be said, regardless of whether it's the truth or not, regardless of who you are. He will just say it and he will reap the rewards, and he won't care about the consequences because he doesn't feel any of the consequences. That is who Bomani is. Kwesi Boyd is in a slightly different situation because he is a bit more articulate in the way he does things. I think that him going into business with Bomani would be more damaging for Kwesi Boyd than it would be for Bomani. Bomani is in a sticky situation. He can't go back to Ghana. Kwesi Boyd can. Kwesi Boyd is free to go back to get the Gambia. He could go back to either of these two countries free, willy-nilly. But if Ghana has taken out some sort of arrest warrant which is valid throughout the ECOWAS countries, then he could get snatched up and he could be stuck in an African prison. And I don't think anybody would want to be there. And for you guys, nothing's changed. You don't want to be doing business with either of these two characters, okay? Unless it is they who is investing time and money. As soon as they turn around and start asking you for money, then you know straight away that you are not going to be seeing that money again if you put it in their hands. Give these two guys a wide berth at all costs. Until the next time, please think twice. Ta-ra a bit.